break it down real quick because I've been asked about this, and regardless of how you say it, you know that people don't really understand the dynamics.
Yes.
My client is Adija Azim Palmer, who is a guest of His Majesty King Charles, the King of Jamaica, for those who don't know. And he is an inmate, an appellant, which is significant. And when you are an appellant, there are certain rights, which I'm sure as I speak tonight, the Rangers who are watching will probably confer with a person who has a ministry who does not know nothing. And they'll try to legislate to take away this particular thing. But as an appellant, you have a right to a lot of things. And
what you have a right to?
You have a right to remember, as an appellant, the correctional department is only to house you. So they're to give you your amenities as if you were on the road, as if you are a person with
Really?
bail. So by right, Mr. Palmer.
Wait. As an appellant, you're basically housed, but you still have some liberties. That's what you're saying.
Of course. Notwithstanding the conviction, the conviction isn't final until the white people have spoken in England. So let's just be clear on that. So the importance of that is simply this. My biggest contention, because I heard you said earlier about 3 persons on a lockdown. 2 of them are very high profile. That is Mr. Palmer, and I won't call the other person name because it will reveal itself in the media. But both of them have important matters before the court. And it is just sometimes that whenever I see state resources being used to interfere with the judicial process, is most unfortunate.
State resources? What do you mean by state resources?
Well, when you're going to set up barricades and when you're going to put 3 inmates on 24-hour lockdown for cell phones. Nobody cares about those stupid cell phones. Mr. Palmer respectfully did an interview on international big TV, real TV, not the little local ones, the real ones, foreign TV, with a white lady, and she interviewed him, and it was a big thing. And the minister of national security, who told Jamaica that I spent $55 million following those recordings to house Mr. Palmer at Horizon. $55 million of Jamaican dollars to put Mr. Palmer in a cell. And now them have him at GP in a little dirty cell that has no ventilation, knowing his medical condition. So I don't care about no damn phone. His medical conditions and the Corrections Act speaks about the duty of the medical officer and reporting accordingly to the commissioner.
So you're saying that Vybz Kartel is not well and they're housing him 24-hour lockdown and he's medically not well?
Yes, and the reason why I'm so angry about it is because they know he has respiratory issues. He has a thyroid problem, and I'm talking about it. So air and ventilation is the most important thing, and they're depriving him of that. And the Constitution speaks about right to life.
So you're saying that Vybz Kartel is having serious respiratory problem. The government and the judiciary knows about this and has Adija Palmer under 24-hour lockdown, knowing his medical conditions.
Yeah, well, that is why I'm telling you that is the purpose of my claim. I don't care about no phone. Reminding the public again that that the government would have legislated serious measures with using taxpayers' money as legislated for cell phone, how to prosecute for possession of cell phones. So I'm not here to do anybody's job for them, but what is being done is in breach of his constitutional rights. So I've seen the dunces set of comments from the dunces set of people who don't even read the articles and who don't understand the magnitude of what happens and the importance of the Constitution. I heard you last night talking to somebody and they don't realize that the constitutional rights is for every single person in this country. Every single Negro, every single other race, every single person, the least among us. And for them to want to sensationalize this thing as if they have Vybz Kartel in prison when it's Adidja Palmer, like anybody else. And so when they're talking about special treatment, the special treatment is what they're doing to him.
And so you're saying the special treatment is putting him under 24-hour lockdown?
Yeah, that is highlighting him as opposed to many other people. So I don't have no problem.
So this is no. And with this now, is there a timeline for this lockdown or is it indefinite?
No. They're investigating. So like I said, I'm going to seek the assistance from the court and I'm going to do it expeditiously. As I said, there's no respect for the highest court in the land because he's an appellant who has matters before the Privy Council, which is important because if you don't get access, when I put on my clothes tomorrow and I don't get access to Mr. Palmer to do his business, you will hear about it and all who is upset.
No, what do you mean by your plan to do his business tomorrow? You're going down to the prison tomorrow?
I am going down to the prison to see him, which is my right to do. And I'm not an ordinary citizen, I'm his attorney. And access to him is paramount to carry out his appeal. So the entire Jamaica know because they cut you every day on the internet, you as in me, on the internet about why you're not doing his business and why you're not getting him out. But access to him, his ability to not be distracted by nonsense. This is nonsense. This is not poor treatment. This is poverty treatment. And the people who are carrying it out are certainly impoverished to be behaving like that. You have a whole prison to run. You're not getting any extra dollar on your salary. And you're making people's life hard by the collections of cell phones. How the cell phones get there? None of those inmates can walk out of that prison. None of them. And I can say this, no lawyer in Jamaica is careless. Because as the public rightly said, we get paid. So yes, Mr. Palmer paid me millions of dollars to be upset. Millions. And I am upset. And when I want to think I'm clowning him or whatever, if he gives me instructions, I am a creature of instructions, albeit not a creature of the Constitution. And I am troubled by the fact that they know that he is sick. So let us not be distracted by cell phones.
So you're saying the records have him to know that Vybz Kartel is sick and they're putting him under these egregious, inhumane conditions.
So let us not forget, when he was in the $55 million cell, which was laughable, because we all know wherever that 55 million, they must go check, because they know all the pop down cells at Tower
So
Street.
who said that Vybz Kartel was in $55 million cell?
Horace Chan said it. Horace Chan, it can be fact checked. He said $55 million to put him in a cell, retrofit a cell. They said not a cell, no retrofit. But anyway, the most important thing is this. I've been done all of that. You bring him to dirty GP because that's what it is. I can't.
So it's general penitentiary them having me?
Yes.
So never horizon.
No. They're moving from the $55 million cell because it was too posh. It had porcelain tiles and flushing toilets, and it had seat warmers and individual telephone booths, so you can do all that you need to do. And it was just too much for a cartel, so they had to bring him down to more inhumane conditions.
So how often does he see a medical doctor?
He gets private care, and certainly upon his instructions, I always ensure that his private doctor goes to see him for his continued treatment.
From he has gone in such a lockdown, do you know if your client is having any medical conditions?
Well, that's I'm going to ascertain that tomorrow, because certainly I would have definitely put out and made the request to ensure that his private doctor, not the prison doctor, And I'm taken aback that the prison doctor, who has a duty under the Corrections Act to inform the commissioner. And we must understand also, and I can say this, Gary Rowe, who just respectfully left as the commissioner of the Corrections Department, I could have taken up my phone and I could have called him and asked him what's going on, and he would respond in 24 hours. So this
so
is
you're saying that the person who is now the commissioner for correction is being difficult?
No, it's not being difficult. He's in acting position, and I respectfully believe that somebody is sabotaging him. Because this nonsense, this animal farm business that's going on the acting commissioner's watch is unacceptable. And
so why does Vybz Kartel have a phone though in a jail cell?
Why does he have a phone? Let me address that.
Yeah, why does Vybz Kartel have a phone in a jail cell?
Let me address that. I don't know of him having any phone, but they must put that up and they must prove it. And they certainly have. They are the ones who are keeping him. So whether he has it or other people have it, I will say this: when you are locked up, you must have. There is something in the Constitution that speaks about family life. Going to prison does not deprive you of your right to family life. The ability to communicate with your family, your children, is important. The communication system in Jamaica is SHIT. They have no ability to communicate with their children, and then you wonder why the young ones them coming up and being bad. And you have your commissioner that getting in $20 million come talking about the young people them is in gangs and they must get rid of them because they don't have any ability to communicate with their families. Simply put phones in the prison. And it's not rocket science, I can tell you.
So you're saying that even in the prison, just a question like that. So you're saying that in our prisons, there's not even a good communication system where the prisoners can call to their family?
It isn't. And they will respond and say, they can set up time and thing, but I can tell you this, and I'd love to make this clear. When I was locked up as a prisoner, me talk to my father, my brother, my family, kids, everybody, every day. Every single day.
So you're talking about a serious reform of the prison system?
Of course. Just like there is no rehabilitation and you're going to come and talk about 23-hour lockdown. That is the most...
But are you aware though?
23-hour lockdown is what is called segregation. It is the most egregious type of incarceration that an inmate can have. And mental issues come from that. So if you're trying to break an inmate, you're not supposed to be breaking an appellant.
But Isaac, I want to ask you a very uncomfortable question.
Sure, no problem.
Are you aware that it is alleged that many hits come from the prisons?
If I'm aware that many hits come from the prison, Kartel have a song called Summertime right now. Fever was one. I'm not talking about musical hit. Adija, jump on the beat and beat it like it's holy water. Adi, put the water and boil. Yeah, of course hits come from prison. I'm
not talking about those hits. No, I'm talking about hits, lives. Like they send out a hit.
Allegedly, I have not seen one prosecution and I have not seen one successful prosecution about no hit. Nonsense. Wasn't that the reason why they created the legislation about confiscating phones and charging people in the circuit court? Now today is only one person get charged for a cell phone, and that person is my client. And we are before the court. They brought it to the circuit court and it was thrown out of the circuit court immediately. Nonsense and a waste of taxpayers' money. Fix your little dirty system. And the three, I will say it without any apology, the 3 inmates who are being locked down for 23 hours, just three dege people, and all this national attention for nonsense to distract the people because they don't want to pay them. All 3 of them are my clients.
Wait.
All 3 of them.
So you're saying all 3 of the men who are in lockdown for 23 hours are your clients, Isaac?
My clients. And the
So you're saying that this is a targeted approach.
Huh?
So you're saying that this is a targeted approach to go after your clients.
I am 100% sure because guess what? I promise you, one will get a judgment by next week or by the end of the month. The other one has his appeal coming within the next month, and the most biggest appeal in the history of Jamaica is happening this year. You do the math. And every time I have to use my brain power, which I have a lot of, to prepare documents, I have to be answering skumpy media about something that Vybz Kartel do when Adidja Palmer is my client. Anyway, we're spending too much time on this. The prison
man,
system.
this is a serious issue. I step back, Buchanan.
All right, go ahead.
So now you're saying it's 3 of your clients, and you're now saying, I want to bring in Mr. Rattigan here. So you're saying it is a distraction because of the civil servants who are not being paid properly. So they carry a sensational news. Rattigan, what's your take on that?
No sensation come from it. Not even the social media engine got any traction from it because the teacher they want them money. And the people them are going down the wall of JDF. And nobody have no time for this foolishness. And nobody should be every year, every summer. Every summer them use the picture I see about the picture a while ago. They use it so much I don't even know if it look like me. People are message me and say you didn't look good there, so man, I want go on. So you must know. Them use it so much over the